Don't say bad things.
I guess I'll be.
Yeah.
Game, why aren't you closing? I specifically clicked the X.
I'm forgetting one weensy tiny little detail.
There we go, finally. That awkward moment when you close it and it's like, Limbus Company has stopped working. I'm like, I know. It was my doing, in fact.
I asked for it to stop working.
It better stop working.
I have to text my NSA agent to be like, hey, can you close this program? Because it's really fucking annoying.
Oh, you want me to send him a text message?
Please.
Okay.
I can't believe now we're gonna be watched by Easter.
Tell him to buy me more RAM, please, because this is ridiculous.
No, fuck. Yeah, I'll tell him to upload more.
Can you imagine just like a pity RAM stick shows up in the mail? It'd be so good.
Hey, can you just install this, please? I can't run shit on your box.
Dude, it's been like 6 years. I see your bank account. Like, seriously. Like, I'm doing you a favor. Actually, I'm sending you a charge.
Can you imagine literally from Russia with love?
We're getting there.
No, it does work.
All right.
Sea shanties?
I'm obsessed with this song.
Where?
Is this sea shanties or is this like an original?
No, this is an original.
Chances on the winds of loops and blunder scores. Our flag, it stands for us alone and no one else around. We owe our honor to the sea and not to any crown. Yo ho, yo ho, the seas forever roll. Yo ho, the winds forever roll. Long after I met Davy Jones, still I'm not but swelling bones. Yo ho.
Oh
I'm
God,
obsessed with this song.
Yeah, it's so good.
Long live piracy. You have a hard choice to make between pirate and dragoon.
I know. I was just thinking. I was like,
Wait.
well, I said I would make Magnus.
Put your
a tank.
hands together.
He doesn't have to choose. So.
A dragoon pirate.
I know. I was thinking that. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm making it very hard not to pick pirate background for Magnus.
Can you imagine just a dragoon on the side of the ship and the captain's like, fucking, boredom, boys! Say no more.
No. I could literally enact that clip that they were telling us about Final Fantasy 16. Just like, enemy ship over there! Just like flip back into it. It's like, deal with it. It's done.
Oh no, the character who's the dragoon, this isn't much of a spoiler, is such a badass. And not just because he's gay, but also because he, at one point, they hesitate to leave him behind, and he tells them to go ahead, and he will I shall be with you anon, is what he says, right? And then he stays behind, he kills a couple more douchebags, and then the ship starts leaving, and he just casually taps his spear and backflips 50 feet onto the ship. And you're just there like, all right, fuck it, what a show off.
That's got mobility. We get it.
He literally,
Yeah,
he
it was
literally does
fucking insane.
the 14 dragoon backflip.
Yeah. but he like backflips up onto the fucking deck of the ship after he just sticks around to kill them for kill like 1 or 2 extra guys for no reason.
Just bad.
Anyway, Dragoon Pirate. I've never heard of that before, and I'm pretty sure I could get an AI to generate it though.
I don't think it would be honestly that hard because the job is just like fighting worms. So the argument could be made like there's sea worms too, right? So they're just like
the argument
specialized.
can't be made. I'm the DM. There are sea worms.
Also,
Well, there you
If
go.
you make a character that's a pirate dragoon because he spent his entire life hunting sea worm leather or scales and sold them, I just make it so.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
you could
so, I
easily
mean-
just have like a corsair with a spear instead of a cutlass too for a model. Like,
I've already
The concept
started
would
making like sea legends. And obviously
Like
one of
hunts?
them is the no, not hunch, just like myths about the open sea, you know?
Oh.
And
okay.
one of them is obviously the myth of Leviathan. And
not a myth, though.
No.
I mean, technically, Eidolons don't exist in this world, so it is a myth, technically. I'm introducing them
mythic.
as icons, but yeah. Okay.
y'all are over here
Um,
arguing between eidolons and icons, and I'm just like feeling like a grandpa who's like, but they're Aeon.
Lol. That's not a Eidolon's older than Aeon. Only in the sense that I'm like specifying that they can only exist in that world if they have a mortal to like prime them, like to transform into them. So that's the only reason I'm like specifying. It's not really a word like between the words and more like the way they exist in the world. Okay, Depala, where do you want to start?
I'm guessing Caius is recovering in Farseer planes.
No. You don't know where he's recovering.
Whoops.
Well, I have his contact information already. So
Ah,
I'd like
okay.
to contact him and ask him if we can meet him somewhere.
Okay.
I can type a message in the chat.
No, it's okay. We tend to just kind of. You're telling me you're contacting him, and he'll respond, and he'll tell you where he is, so that you can meet him in person. I'm just checking on in my notes to see where he is.
Easter, I want you to understand that you took Entice away from me. And I thought that was the nicest interaction I had as a judge. One of.
Did you?
Wanna-
Did you
wanna
unjunction
highlight that.
everything?
I'm doing it now. This
Okay,
is the
cool.
first time I've been on.
Thank you. I know. I'm aware. That's why I wanted to. It was on my list to remind you, but if you're doing it already, then it's fine.
I lose Entice. This is a sad, sad fucking day.
You lose a lot. I actually looked at it the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I even told them before you like realized, right? I said it in here while you were. I think you were gone somewhere.
I was
And,
vacationing.
Yeah, you're vacationing, and I said when he finally, puts 2 and 2 together, I want to be here for when it happens. And then
And
when
then
you
screw
wrote
him up.
in chat, wait, I went, there it is.
You fucking figured it out.
And I was like, well,
We're back. We're back to slow tank.
and by slow
Almost-
you mean
Well, was 7,000 initiative, now 1,500.
oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
Back to slow tank.
All right. The healing pools in Bevel's inner halls. It's the labyrinth inside the city of Bevel. Think of it as like a bathhouse, except it's infused with Kelkronso's healing magics. There's going to be a side quest. Somehow got lost, and I don't remember when. Right around the time that you guys went to the Temple of the Serpent and unleashed the Zodiarch. He'll be soaking in the baths down below. He still has clothes on, don't worry. He's only stripped to the waist, and he'll tell you exactly which one that he's in. And once you reach Bevel, you can make your way there as soon as you identify yourself to the guards. What's your method of transport?
Freaking Noah. So hold on, I can figure that out.
Okay, so you're starting in Cornelia. It's across the sea. It's not far from Cornelia, but certainly not next door.
I'm gonna contact. I should still have Rin's contact information from when I went with Miss Mess to the meeting. I'm gonna ask him for a ship.
Who?
And,
Rin.
Rin.
I have written numbers in my inventory as well, and I can pay. I can pay for it.
We're not asking for a favor. It's just if he has a way of getting us there.
Love this song.
Not bartering or anything, like whatever the charge.
Rin! It's funny how Rin's voice is just a slightly lower tone than mine.
Is that foreshadowing? Like, should we be worried or?
Yes, you should be worried. Good evening, friends. To what do I owe the honor of this call? Vridik Aksa.
Greetings, Rin. Me and my brother here, we have business with Caius. He'll send you the information of where we need to go, but we just need a ride. It's only the two of us. It's a private matter we're not trying to involve the other warriors in.
Discreet transport. My specialty. Very well. There'll be a transport there in the next few minutes. Considering you are friends of my current employer, it'll be on the house.
If no one has told you yet, your current employer has died. He has passed away.
Blair passed away?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about your deals with Zoldad.
Wait. The Emperor is deceased?
As far as we're aware at the moment, yes.
Hence the private matter we're attending.
And what has become of Zoldad?
At the moment, we are figuring that out. But we are also dealing with a giant calamity. So there will be multiple conversations.
My
in the time to come.
friend! Giant calamities come and go, but commerce is forever.
I will make
If you
sure.
need someone to handle Zoldad while you are busy saving the world, then look no further.
I'll think about it. I will get back to you on that.
Very well. Do not wait on it long, however. When a ruler is deceased, things tend to, things tend to descend rather quickly. So, I wouldn't wait too long.
We will address it. Don't worry.
It's part of the discussion today.
Be that as it may, I'll be sending a few of my associates into the city to make sure things remain calm, and to encourage those who would usurp your father's thrones to think twice before they do so. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Not your father. Although sometimes it seemed as if he was.
He was. You can call him that. That's fine.
I think
We're
we all
brothers.
agree to that.
we were adopted by him and Aman. It's understood.
Very well. In that case, I will send some of my agents. They'll make quick work of anyone who tries to take over the bureaucracy.
Thank you.
And then he'll hang up.
Perfect.
A few minutes later, one of Rin's very discreet Skeef airships will arrive with a single pilot who doesn't say a single word and stares straight forward, just kind of motions for you to get in the ship.
Trevas tip his head to the pilot, sit down, doesn't say much. Just his he just sets his feet on the ground, arms on the legs, and just kind of looks down, not engaging to anybody right now.
Zell will kind of do the a nod of his head and being like, all right, we'll and get on the ship and await to a destination. He won't say anything.
Yeah, it'll take a few hours to reach Bevel on a Skeef, but no one will ever detect the ship as it travels forward. Even the guards at Bevel's Bevel's docking area will just kind of be surprised as the ship just kind of flies in out of nowhere and lands. They'll immediately just kind of walk up to you with hands held out as if to say, stop, you're not allowed to enter. The door will open, and before any of you can get out, the pilot will just kind of walk out and will present a seal to the two guards, in which case both guards will stop dead in their tracks, looking extremely nervous, and nod and move out of the way. The pilot will come back and will nod to the two of you.
Nod back and exit the ship.
You are guests in Bevel of the Maester Rin. Remember that. Your behavior reflects on his reputation. That is what the pilot will say, as he kind of looks at each of you for a moment, and then just gets back in the pilot's seat of the ship.
Ross will nod and say, "You're not planning on staying long. Our business is personal in nature, and honestly, the least amount of people I can talk to, the better."
The pilot will nod, allowing you both to disembark as the airship just kind of flies off and disappears on the horizon. The guards will motion and will tell you exactly where to go to reach the healing fountains of the inner sanctum. Are you guys going? You're gonna go straight there, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Yeah. No detours.
No detours, straight there. No one stops you. And it takes you maybe 10-15 minutes to reach. You'll go to the end of the hall where the Grand Maester's office, you would normally go into two great oak doors, but instead you'll veer left into a stairwell, a very large stairwell that descends you into the dome shape that is the floating city of Bevel's inner area. As you descend, you'll pass different levels, merchants' quarters, you'll pass something called a bestiary, and then you'll go deeper still. A few minutes later, reaching the healing fountains. As you enter, there's a hit of dampness, you know that dampness you feel whenever you go to a pool, an indoor pool.
Humidity?
Yeah,
Yes.
that humidity just kind of hits you in the face.
Yeah.
Although there is no bad smell. It's
You
just
are,
the
you are
humidity
talking to
that hits
the
you.
two people that probably knows that the best.
You'll see there's multiple chambers with multiple different pools, and the pools have a very light aqua-colored glow as they are infused with mako radiation from nearby guado that tend the spouts of the fountains. At the very end of the chamber, in a chamber by himself, you'll see Caius Ballad. His blade just kind of leaning against a nearby wall, sheathed in a massive scabbard, and he's just kind of laying his back against the ceramic tiling of the actual pool itself, and he's scooping up water with his palms, and he's kind of letting the water drop onto a very serious looking wound on one of his knees, his left knee. You'll see he's just kind of focused, somber, and quiet as the two of you walk in, and he lifts his eyes to you momentarily before continuing to just kind of scoop little bits of water up, just kind of letting the water flow.
So we'll look to Trevas and kind of give him like a after you, brother, and I'm here if you need me.
Trevas will take a deep breath and like let a sigh out. This is gonna be a difficult conversation. And he will start walking towards Caius. As we approach Caius, Trevas will state, I know you're recovering. I know you're not in the mood or a place to discuss urgent matters, but this could not wait. We could not wait.
As you approach, he'll motion with his hand at a nearby marble bench that's just kind of nearby, inlaid against the wall of the chamber he's in. Not in the pool, mind you.
I could probably use some healing, honestly.
As he motions toward it, he'll look at you with a very serious expression on his face, but one that doesn't really betray whatever emotion he's feeling. He seems fixated on the gash on his knee, and as he drops water on it, you'll see his eyes shut as if the water is soothing the pain. And you'll see very tiny little tendrils of like sinew and blood start to just kind of slowly stitch themselves together as the water touches his wound. It happens extremely slowly though. It doesn't heal the wound in seconds.
Right.
At this rate, the wound will probably be healed in a couple of hours if he continues to spray water on it. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trevas will take his blade off and lay it next to the blade that's resting against the wall before sitting. I have a feeling it will be hard to sit with a giant greatsword in your back.
Zell will take off his helmet because it is very stuffy in here.
Your fur is already damp. You weigh about 50% more than you did before you came down here.
This would be an excellent place to train.
Caius will look up.
Well, if you have something to say, then say it.
My brother and I are fatherless once more.
Do you speak of that mage that we defeated within the depths, where I acquired all these wounds? No. You're speaking of another. Spiritus?
Unfortunately, yes.
I had sensed a discharge of energy. And felt as though something was different. Have you chosen a new warden of Valhalla?
This is one of the topics we came to speak with you, as our list is long and the balance of life and death seems to be disturbed at the moment. I have
When
many
the
questions.
Emperor first revealed who he was to me, I granted him the title of Warden so he may teach you, so the warriors of light would become stronger. Had I known that it would lead to his ultimate demise, I would have kept it for myself. But it does not matter. We are in a war. There are casualties in war, Trevas.
I am a warrior as well, Kais.
Then
As you
you
know,
know
casualties
better
of
than
war.
anyone.
I do, Chaos, I do. But this doesn't sit well with me, and there's, regardless of my feelings of this, there's many things we need to move forward with. Not just Valhalla, Zuldad, let alone the universe. A lot of what we've been trying to accomplish depended on Spiritus. And honestly, I came to seek your wisdom and sit with you so I can clear my own head.
You are welcome to sit with me, Dark Knight. But I'm afraid my wisdom only extends to battle and to suffering.
Both of those seems to be in abundance currently.
Such is the plight of the Dark Knight, I'm afraid. If you would have my wisdom, then ask, and I will offer what I can. As you can see, my body is broken, and the wounds inflicted by those wretched things last longer on my flesh. It takes much of my energy to resist the whispers that echo in my mind. Do not worry. I will not succumb. But it will make healing much slower.
He'll turn his attention to you, and as he pours more water on the one wound he's focusing on, he'll just kind of look at you expectingly.
In loss of Spiritus, we have also lost Crystal of Light.
One of the Fabula Nova.
One of the Fabula Nova crystals.
Indeed.
Seems on par with the Warriors of Light of late. Can't you simply reforge it, as you have done the others?
As you've probably figured out, Spiritus' death and the crystal shattering are linked.
I had an inkling.
One of our companions, whether intentional or not, has managed to form a new primordial from the wreckage.
Then his eyes will widen for a moment. It's the most expression you've seen on his face as he continues to pour, like, handfuls of water on his wounds.
Then surely you will not be able to reforge the crystal then. It's not quite so easy now. Of all the wretched elements, light?
He'll just kind of cringe visibly as he thinks about it.
I would not suffer another would-be god of light on this world, or any other. Self-entitled, despicable things. Well, you do have a dilemma. Why come here?
Your battle prowess, I trusted wholly, and our strategies are, as you may have figured out already, is kinda teetering at the end, and knowing you, who has fought against Ul'dah for years and fought against a stronger enemy, I figured you might have thought of ways to defeat Zodiark without any outside help.
On Nova, Zodiark had always been but a myth. Legend. A scary story. I'm afraid I have no strategies against nightmares. At least not ones that come from myth. If you are to defeat him, an entity of pure light is not wholly without its uses. Have you seen to a counterbalance for the Primordial?
What do you mean?
Eidolons formed that become powerful enough often lose their sense of self. It is something that occurred often with the Fal'Cie who gave me my commands for so long. More power without balance usually breeds madness. If death has truly succumbed, then life's power will grow. He will not remain in control for long. And the same goes for the entity you've created. If there is no darkness to keep it at bay, then it will lose its sense of self as well. Perhaps you can use this to your advantage in your fight against Zodiark.
You're proposing we send Life and our newly formed Primordial against them? Or do you have another thing in mind?
It is precisely what I suggest. Well, once they would feel weakness and their power would be muted near such a creature. Now their power will grow unfettered. Perhaps it will be enough to counter Zodiark's influence. Perhaps, before they surrender to madness, they can be put to use. Though this will surely lead to their demise. Or, should they succeed too efficiently, you will have to defeat them once they are done with Zodiac.
We've made, much like our relationship with Spiritus, we've made very good friends with the Primordials of the past. And it would put a sour taste in my mouth to use them, exploit them in this manner, and then toss them away like tools. I'm not saying what your line of thinking is wrong or anything, because you're right, it is an option, and this is war. But I'd like to try and reach a middle ground, if possible.
And you will die while you look for your middle ground. If you have a sour taste in your mouth, and if your primordial allies despise you, at least they will draw breath to despise you, and you will have the luxury of being able to taste at all.
Guys, you did bring up a good point about if the opposite, the balance is not there, that is what leads to madness. Do you think a absence of balance what caused Zodiac to become the way he is?
Almost certainly. Knowing those Lunarians, there probably was a contingency in place. Somehow that contingency failed. Though I would not know how. I would suggest, if you wish to explore the subject further, you find a Lunarian to speak to.
That we, not us two, but Warriors of Light, are not the best friends with them right now, even though I still do have a good relationship with them. Don't think
Still talk.
Yeah,
We can still talk to them, Trevas.
you're right.
We can still ask them
I suggest
questions.
you speak to them, and that you remember what I have said. If you spend all your time trying to protect everything, you will lose everything. Sometimes we must make do with those we have the power to save.
I really wish your wounds weren't so severe. We could really use the Chaos Blade at our side. This time, we are losing combat power quicker than we can replenish it.
I am a Dark Knight, Trevas. I am not useful against Zodiac. What you require is a self-righteous being of light. Preferably one that does not shut up.
He'll just kind of grin wryly as he looks up to both of you.
Because if it does not shut up, then it'll have higher chance of being killed by Zodiac.
I met a couple of those. The unfortunate thing is I'm one of them as well, just like you. But yet I have to fight.
Well, if you can send a healer that is strong enough to shield me against these maddening whispers, perhaps I can aid. But there are surely better companions that you can have against the cosmos. Darkness, I'm afraid, is not going to be your ally. Not in this fight. But alas, is that all you have come here for?
I still haven't beat Kane, so therefore yes. Otherwise I'll be asking that thing on the wall, but
You will have the thing on the wall as soon as you are worthy to wield it.
I am aware. Just stupid Dragoon's armor is pain.
The Dragoon of which you speak is one of the most talented warriors that I have met in my life. And I do not say that lightly. He is an excellent example of someone who has made difficult choices. But alas, this water is getting cold. I'm sure that the Guado keepers will not come in here so long as the warriors are here. I speak in hushed tones of the warriors of light.
We shall leave you to your splashing. Get well, my friend.
I am not splashing.
He'll just kind of look at the water and then just kind of push some water away from him, like.
We know our next stop then. Thanks, guys. This was enlightening. One last question.
Yes?
How do you think we should handle Zul'Dat's ruling? Because right now, it's not looking good.
You think to ask me a question on governing a city, an empire?
No. It's a question of what you thought was your biggest enemy as a leader of the Farseers. Who knows ins and out of that kingdom? Not because you're a warrior, because any good adversary will know you better than yourself sometimes.
Most of our encounters with Zul'Dad occurred on the Farseer plains. We were surviving, not attacking them. I know very little of that city. Approaching it usually meant the death of one of my tribemen. I avoided it at all costs.
Sorry about that.
He'll go back to focusing on pooling and soaking his wounds. See a few Guado mages on the edges, just outside, just kind of waiting impatiently.
Zell will look to Caius and say, I'll take your words to heart. I'm still going to look and find my middle ground. Because I know that I still have, even though you say it's impossible to save everyone, I'm still going to look for it and find it. But I know deep down that if I have to make the hard call, I will. Because after all, and as he'll put his helmet back on, he said, I'm the one who killed my other father.
At this point, I might be the most innocent one in here.
Yeah. Yeah, the assassin.
He'll kind of look at the water's surface, kind of like he's contemplating, and he'll nod. And then again cup some water in his hands and pour it over his wound.
All right, brother. Let him heal. Let him recover.
Thank you for your time. And if you have an idea of anyone who can take over for Warden, let us know.
Unless you are willing to take over again.
I imagine he wants to heal here at Trevas. I can't imagine him taking the trip to Valhalla and back.
Not right away.
Valhalla will require a warden if it will protect itself against Zodiac. You will have to pick one yourselves.
The Dragoon, maybe?
The crystal will have reformed inside the depths of Valhalla, near Etro's throne. The warden need only pick it up. The survival of Valhalla must always be tied to a living soul.
I think you made a good point, brother. I think if Caius thinks he's one of the best warriors to ever exist, I think Dragoon might be a good option indeed.
Thank you for your time, Caius. We'll let you
Think
rest.
nothing of it. Guano! Water's cold.
And one of those Shirley temples with the curly straw.
Yeah. The Guado will jump and we'll just kind of walk in the room, just kind of eyeing you guys. And then they'll two of them will kneel on either side of the waters, and will kind of place their hands in the water, and they'll channel fire, and the water will become hot again. All right, where are you guys going?
You wanna go speak to the Primordials now? Brother?
Yeah. We have to find a place to discuss with them.
How are we gonna
No,
do
they're-
that?
Well, you talked to them last. Did you do you think they'll be willing to come to Castle Cornelia again? Or
Probably
think
not. We probably need to go to them.
lovely.
Because they don't want to do anything with Warriors of Light. Like I have a good relationship with them, and I told them they could call on me as their sword anytime. But they are wary of Warriors of Light right now. And you being present at the time is gonna be difficult, as I know you did everything in your power. I don't know if they will feel the same.
I think I have a convincing enough case. I'm not too worried about it.
I still can't believe I wasn't there.
Wouldn't worry about it too much. We have to track down where we're going for. Who do you think we should talk to? Would Tsukiyomi be available?
It's daytime out.
It's daytime.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, only other option. I would rather not talk to Amaratsu. I don't think she would.
I'm worried about what Kai said about Wisp losing itself without the presence of death. I don't think it will happen right away, but that is a scary thought.
One issue at a time, Trevas.
Indeed.
We can solve Valhalla. We need to find a problem. We need to fix Zoldad. And now we need to talk to the Primordials and potentially come up with another plan.
I think we can contact Kane fairly easily. So let's go talk to Wisp then. If you think talking to Wisp is a good idea, because I agree with you, Amara. I can't ever say that word.
Amaterasu.
That one is probably the most
Call her
upset.
Rasu. You can call her Rasu.
Rasu is the most upset out of all the Primordials. Even though we didn't speak with Abaddon, I can see her fiery personality just barely holding her rage in control when we were there.
Are you guys walking back to the...
Yeah,
Yeah,
to the docks.
this conversation is happening while we're walking back to the ship.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right. Well, Rin's airship, upon seeing you guys reach the sky dock, will redock onto the sky dock. The door will open, and the pilot will just kind of patiently wait, pulling out a newspaper.
Take us back to Castle
Cornelia.
please.
With pleasure. And he'll put down the newspaper and fly you the couple of hours back to Castle Cornelia. And then he'll just wait on the sky dock there as well.
We're going to go to the gardens outside and set up. I'm gonna go. Trevas,
Yes.
I know you wanted to talk to Wisp, but I'm actually thinking I want to speak to Amaterasu.
I am okay with Ratsu. I thought you were tentative about it.
The more I think about it, I want to convey her my side of the story.
One thing I noticed, ever so slightly, when I told her I pledge my sword to her, there was a moment of softness in her eye, ever so slightly. Because I think she really truly believes this was not a Warriors of Light as a whole that did this. They just can't trust us as a group anymore, but I don't think she will have a problem with the two of us.
Okay.
Or we will just burn in the light of the sun and never be seen again, so
That's
either way it's not going to be our problem anymore.
To be honest, she might not even answer our call, but let's see. And then Zell will kind of kneel down and pray to her.
Trevas will do the same, just so both voices are going.
As soon as both your knees touch the ground, you'll notice a stream of orange radiation just kind of erupt from the rays of the sun and the sky and encircle both of you. As it encircles both of you, it starts to deconstruct your Pyrofly makeups and transport you somewhere. Do you resist?
I do not.
Rin, do you, or not Rin, Zell, do you resist?
No.
I don't know why I called you Rin.
Rin? Oh,
Yeah.
character upgrade.
Cool character, yeah.
I'm the merchant
You're
now.
both dissolved. Bright white light encompasses both of your vision, and as your vision returns to you, you look around and you're on a marble platform with pillars just kind of climbing almost, well, they look infinitely into the sky. As you stare around where you are, you see nothing but a river of plasma and flame. Literally, skies to the left, to the right, boiling, roiling pools of magma and lava to your left, searing just explosions rocking in the distance. a wave of heat will touch you for half a second, and you guys will feel the onset of excruciating pain, and then a pulse of energy will just kind of emerge from you, and you'll both be encased in orange bubbles of pure energy, in order to kind of protect your bodies from being incinerated instantly. As you look around, you recognize a faith temple. In the distance, there is a massive double-wide door with a rune on it, a Lunarian rune, that no doubt leads into an inner sanctum where there is a faith tree wreathed in flame. As you're just kind of blinking and letting all of this come into your line of vision and kind of like taking it in and processing where you are, you'll notice that a wolf is just kind of walking in front of you. As you struggle to kind of focus your eyes on the brightness of the area and you kind of shake off the disorientation, she'll circle you. Very calmly. Her cackles aren't raised and she's not growling or snarling. She's very calmly just kind of circling both of you. Almost the way a wolf does if it's toying with its prey.
Trevas, being a seasoned warrior, knowing how to fight and being trained in how to fight in a disoriented places, like even though like my senses are not back together, I can act. Because like, I have fought many battles. This is not to fight or anything. Trevas will bow in the because he can probably sense the motion wherever the motion of the wolf is. Bow that way, and will say, Ratsu, thank you for bestowing the honor of entering your sanctum so soon after I said you may call on me, yet I'm calling on you. But unfortunately we are left in a place that has much to do and much to figure out, and unfortunately our wisdom is not quite enough.
As you speak to her, she'll stop circling both of you and just kind of stare at you. Do you see the model?
Yes.
Yep. Much like the model, actually. Just kind of staring at you with eyes that are just pools of flame. She'll look at you calmly. And as you speak, she'll nod. What wisdom do you seek?
My brother wanted to address you first of all, but more importantly...
Ask your question, Trevas. I'll ask her mine in a minute.
Same manner, trying to gain wisdom on this uncertain situation, I went and spoke to Caius, who is a seasoned warrior as well, of Noah. He brought up the fact that with the stupid decisions that were made and the situation we find ourselves, that the balance needs to be restored. Now there is a being of light running rampant with nothing to balance it with.
Her expression will furrow. She'll furrow her brow for a moment and shake her head, closing her eyes. Oh, sister. Why would you not tell me? It seems in our grief, in my grief, that I overlooked what it meant to lose Spiritus. You speak the truth, warrior. There is a loss in balance. It must be corrected. Otherwise, we will pay the price before Zodiark is laid to rest. Tsukiyomi almost certainly thought of this, and yet she kept it from me. I would have words with my sister. But alas, you have come to ask me for guidance on this matter?
And some other matters as well.
My solution is simple. Destroy the abomination. This being of light created from the bastardization of our magics. Destroy it! I will speak to my sister of Wisp. Perhaps she can find a solution until Zodiark is dealt with, and then we can fix Ryu. But in dealing with two imbalances, we are spreading ourselves thin. Primordials can handle and protect Wisp. Especially now that you have brought it to my attention. But the abomination should be destroyed. That is the wisdom I offer you. Should you need aid in this endeavor, I would be happy to lend you my power.
On that I have no doubts. And second, much less important matter at the point, yet not completely useless. My brother and I are worried about the future of Zuldad now that it's headless. There are many powerful warriors and mages and others that may fall under Zodiark quickly without the protection of Spiritus. That is the second thing I ask your wisdom on.
I do not deal in the affairs of mortals. I'm afraid I have no wisdom to offer you. Zoldad was a creation of Spiritus that I did not understand. He valued the aid and the company of mortals more than I ever will. And though I respect what he has built, it is not a priority for me to keep it from falling into madness. My priority is the survival of both worlds and the destruction of Erebus.
I
I will say, my sister would probably be able to offer aid in such matters. Yes. Tsukiyomi has always been one for diplomacy and rational thought.
Well, speaking of diplomacy, I think it's my turn if you're done with your questions, Trevos.
I am, brother. I apologize.
You don't have anything to apologize for. So, I was not present when you confronted the warriors, or so I was told you did. And I apologize for that. I was also lost in the grief of losing our father. But I've had some time to think.
Have you now?
I understand your anger, your passion for Spiritus. She was a
She'll-
friend.
As you speak and you say you understand her anger, the platform that you guys are standing on will remain protected, but every single area beyond it will just kind of erupt in a pillar of flame. Literally just a wall of magma just kind of surrounds this entire place as the sun just kind of explodes momentarily and grows a couple of 100 miles.
Trevas will look at his brother, kind of like, choose your word carefully, brother.
Zell will.
I doubt you understand my anger, but
Oh,
I will admit that I sensed your reluctance to abandon Spiritus when I witnessed the moment.
I made him promise me when I was leaving that he would not leave us behind. When he told me to go
Spiritus.
protect them.
Sage was ever the liar.
I see that now. So you can.
I do not know what he saw in you, in all of you. When he spoke of you, it was as if he was speaking of my daughter. I do not see it, but I respected him.
I would have done everything in my power to stay there and ensure his survival had he not ordered me otherwise. I know the man's a better strategist than I will ever be, so I thought I understood the stakes of trusting his commands. But you know as well as I do that that man had a grief in his heart that had been buried there for years. I don't know if this was an opportunity for him to finally feel that pain. And it certainly didn't help what happened to Amon while he was there. He's ever since Amon betrayed him, he hasn't been quite the same. That little twinkling smile, that sort of flicker of life in him was nothing more than a little kindling when Amon disappeared.
Childhood friends. I studied at the academy together. Where one went, the other followed. Amon ever trailing Sage's footsteps. Never quite reaching the heights that his friend could. Though I saw not a bit of resentment on him. Until he was... Until he lived among mortals, that is. She'll turn her attention to Trevas for a moment and just kind of look at him. I sense what you are. You are flawed, but unmistakable from Amon's essence.
I was brought up slowly, never being told what I really am.
It matters not. You do not have enough Lunarian essence in you for it to matter. For it to make you any more than just another mortal. But I digress. Have I offered enough wisdom? Am I to be free of your company? Or would you ask more of me?
My mind, all I wanted to say, I wanted to try and convey to you was that I did everything I could under his command. And I don't agree with what one warrior decided to do with his power, as we are all independent thinkers in our group. And even though we do work as a coordinated team, having only a fragment of your daughter that basically binds total strangers together.
Independent thinkers.
We try to move as a group, but as you can see, sometimes people go off on their own.
Where was your independent thought when Sajay told you to leave him?
Part of me didn't. But another part of me trusted him in his plan.
I see. Have you come here to ask for forgiveness? Understanding, redemption? What is it you seek? Who am I to you, Judge of Zoldad? And you, Dark Knight, that you would come here and speak to me thus?
I came here out of sympathy.
At that, her her lips will curl in a snarl.
Yeah.
For a moment, the shields protecting you will flicker.
What is that? Sympathy? To what end?
I've only known our father for a short time, and knowing what a great man he was. I've looked up to him all my life, to the point where I am at the position I am, maybe out of nepotism. Maybe it's just because he saw your daughter. But he saved me from a cruel, cruel world. And, Zell will begin to kind of like tear up as he is pronouncing this. You can hear his voice kind of waver a bit. And so when I heard about what happened and your reaction to it, I felt sort of hindered to it. I don't want to say like I know all of your experience in life and everything that you understand, but it felt familiar. That fire, that hatred, the anger, the rage for something that was taken away from you, something that you once had, something you cared about more than all of the world. And this has happened to me not once with Spiritus, but twice with Amon, and a third time with my own parents. And all I'm trying to point out, I'm not trying to offend you as if this lowly mortal knows more than you. But I am trying to say that we are similar in that rage, in that passion. I understand that feeling well, and I agree with it.
Do you?
Maybe that's what Spiritus saw in us. Is that those feelings?
You believe that we are kindred. And I sense your suffering, warrior. We used to call your kind children of the moon.
Yeah, we haven't heard that name in a long time.
Your likeness is that of the moon and the sun. You claim that we are kindred, and that you have a rage that burns inside you. You claim a great many things. And so, warrior, I offer you the chance. As she speaks, tendrils of the sun will just kind of pierce through your barrier, and they'll form into two objects in front of you. One of them, a perfectly clear orange crystal sphere, a siring sphere, and the other one forging into a greatsword, but made of pure flame. As the sword and the sphere just kind of appear in front of you, her eyes will blaze and she'll kind of place one of her paws forward. Enough of the empty promises, the empty words of the warriors of light. Suffering choices made, helping this poor little thing and that poor little thing. Take up arms and show me that you and I are kindred. Use my flame and set right the wrong that was created that day. You don't even have to murder the wretched thing. I offer you my power if you but vow to destroy it when it inevitably turns. Its creation flawed. Created by one who understands nothing of Lunarian magics. Regardless of a balance, regardless of whatever discovery this thing makes within its short lifetime, it will turn sour. Instead of a primordial of the void, you will have a primordial of light. Instilling stillness upon the world and calling it hope for mankind.
Bell will will look up to her and like piercing through the tears, you'll see like a fire in his eyes. And he says, I agree. You have a deal. The abomination will cease to exist before it turns.
Her eyes will blaze, and the siring sphere will just kind of hover towards you, just kind of pulsing. Your will be yours alone. The only thing I will hold you to is the promise you make today. The creature that killed one of my closest friends. When it inevitably turns, you will silence it. Do you understand my terms?
I will ensure that no more primordials will be created beyond this point. This will be the end. This will never happen again. And yes, I will deal with the primordial of light.
Then consider your honor restored and accept my power.
Zell will reach out his hand to grab
Or,
it.
For the very first time since the passing of Spiritus, Trevas's eyes will light up. He will look at his brother and smile.
The Siren Sphere will dissolve in your hand and just kind of melt, turn into like liquid fire and just swirl around in the air before you and just inject itself into your arm. It will burn. You'll feel like this white hot burning sensation, but your flesh won't burn as the Siren Sphere just kind of places itself within your Pyrofly makeup. And then the Greatsword will hover toward you.
Both tools.
I offer you both to keep your oath.
He'll look at Trevas and say, "This path I will blaze on my own. You can keep our father's sword safe, I trust."
Trevas will bow. Don't
And
forget,
he-
brother, wherever there's large amounts of fire, there's a lot of shadow. I'll be there, right behind you.
Zell will kind of snicker at his comment, and he'll also reach for the sword.
As you take hold of the hilt of the blade, the Siren Sphere in your arm will pulse as well, as if connected to the blade somehow.
Oh. That's how she keeps track of the bond, I guess? Or the oath?
This is your opportunity to change my mind. Do not forsake the oath you make here today. You will find that if you do, that the mother will undo what the daughter has done. There will be no more warriors of light.
I had to, for the safety of this planet, cut down our other father. It hurt to do so. But I know what is the right choice to make. So when I say to you, you have my word, it will be done. I know that those words mean nothing to you right now. It's just somebody offering empty promises. But you will come to see that my words carry weight.
Let that arrogant undead know that I did not shy away from lending my strength to your cause. And she'll just kind of turn and start walking away as tendrils of fire grab hold of you both and transport you back to Cornelia.
Well, that solves one of the problems.
I was very scared.
Yes, we almost died.
I know, but I knew if I worded it right, I was like, I need to garner sympathy, and I knew how to word it right. It's tricky.
All right. They're transported back to the Castle Cornelia Gardens. It's peaceful. The sun blazes very, very brightly in the sky. You can feel it's a couple of degrees warmer than it was when you first left. Almost as if she's telling you that she's watching you.
You're tired. I got your sword. I don't need.
Trevas like grabs Zell by the shoulders, starts shaking. It was like, I almost died.
Yeah. He's gonna go, "Thank you for trusting me, Trevas.
It was hard.
I'm gonna be honest. I only half expected that plan to work. If I had died right there, I think my grief would have been okay with that. To join Father.
Oh, that's great. Leave me by myself. Sure. Like, fuck me, I guess. Like, lose
Fuck
my
me, I
father, lose my other father, now lose my brother.
It's a hell of an origin story. Do you have anyone else you want to speak to?
I'm satisfied. I've talked
Yeah,
to
I'm-
Primordials and the
Yes.
All right.
And we now learned quite a bit of useful information that we need to relay to others as well. And we need to somehow get in touch with Kane and tell him to pick up that stupid crystal before Valhalla falls.
That should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'm good. Are you? Do you have anything
Yeah,
else?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I know Blair wants to talk to Primordials as well, so that would give her a chance as well. I don't want to talk to everybody. All right, thank
Keep
you.
in mind, this siren is not like the others, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
I understand. It's more of a contract.
It's not. Yes, it is a contract for sure, but it's what I meant was she won't come at your beck and call.
No.
Okay.
No. I understand this is more of like you have my blessing, but like it's like kind of like Abaddon in a way. It's more like do your own, except Abaddon would probably show up. She's more like here's some power, good luck, like figure it out.
She's using you because you kind of stirred her and she kind of deemed you worthy. She believes wholeheartedly that even if you find a balance, that this thing will turn on everyone. And she says, when it does, kill it. And then she gave you the power to kill it.
Yeah.
So she's not going to come at your beck and call. At least not if you kind of like, in an hour of pure desperation, maybe if you roll high enough. But she won't just show up. Like if Rick goes, Abaddon, I need you, Kupo, Abaddon's there, like, and same with Wisp for Savande. That's not the same with you.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I'm under that assumption that like unless it furthers her plan to like destroy Eden, she's not showing up. Like if I'm in a situation where I could potentially destroy Eden, but something else is threatening me and she sees that, she might help me to make sure my goal hops through. But even that's slim. I expect nothing. I expect to basically never talk to her again until either it's done or she's like, hey, hurry it up on the clock. That's kind of what I'm expecting.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. That was
Thank you, Steph. Thank you, Thunder. Awesome job.
no, thank you. I wanted to talk to a Primordial. I had a couple problems I needed fixing.
Solid just
You
dropping
guys
bars.
You guys found out a few things too that you should remember.
I wrote them all down.
Okay. She also seems to think that the magic is flawed.
Yeah.
Now, Amaterasu wouldn't say that unless Tsukuyomi said it. Because
True.
Amaterasu
wouldn't
doesn't
even-
understand Lunarian magic. She would rely on her sister. So you guys would be able to piece that together.
Yeah. She's Marshall, right? Like if she's talking about how bad magic is, it's definitely because somebody else said something.
Or it's just really that bad.
Or it's yeah, that's true. It could be that. But either way, it's not it wouldn't be a lie. It wouldn't be taken as
Mhm.
Well then,
Whew.
Well, then you have a freaking thing that might go crazy anytime in your arm.
that's gonna be a lot of standby research rolls to figure out what the fuck did I do.
yeah.
Thunder, the sword.
Name?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. The Solstice Fang.
Hey, that sounds badass. B, bro.
I'll send it to you so you spell it right.
To be honest, I was just googling solstice and then Fang I can spell.
that works.
Don't worry, I got that one.
Just helping. Sorry.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Got that
I know I'm terrible at spelling. It's no big deal.
The Solstice. I just give it to everyone at this point, just because I come up with crazy names all the time. So, the Solstice Fang. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay,
Is it
Easter.
just brand of Sorry, is it just brand of Amaterasu or does it have a name?
No, it's Amaterasu's Siring Stone. That's what you
Siren
call it.
Stone.
Easter, I'm gonna need you
Or
to
sphere.
change.
Yeah, not stone. Sphere.
Sphere.
I don't know why I said stone.
Hmm?
I'm gonna need you to go change where it says the Spirit Blade for Zell to Spirit Blade for Trevas.
So the brothers have primordial blades, and Nibble actually gets his double fucking mythic whatever it is.
Well,
If you can
you
build
gotta
it.
forge it.
Yeah,
He has to make it. It's the Excalibur Twin Fang or
Has the
Twin
oppor-
Blade.
He has the opportunity.
He does.
Oh my god.
Wow. Yeah, you did awesome. Thank you, Steph.
Oh, that was very fun. It was very good. Thank you.
There you
problem.
go. I changed it to Paulo.
Keep
Thank
in
you.
mind, if Easter can somehow keep Eden from going bad in any way, then it'll be okay.
Well,
but
no,
as-
because I guess she did give me the stipulation of destroy it when it corrupts. So I guess it could perpetually go forever.
she's not stupid enough to think that she could just task you to assassinate it. So
Yeah.
she gave you that like code of honor to hang by, but to her it didn't matter because she knows it's going to turn.
Because it's inevitable to her, yeah.
So to her it didn't matter. But she worded it that way to make you feel better because she felt like you wouldn't be able to accept it any other way. And if she was going to have like keep in mind also, you're kind of like a spy now for her too, so she can keep
Yeah.
an eye on the Warriors of Light, you know?
I kind of figured that was.
Yeah, I figured you'd know. She's not evil, and she's not, like I said, she's not
No.
actively going against you guys. She doesn't trust you, and she thinks most of you, if not all of you, are incompetent, which means that her having a champion among you just gives her that vision that she was lacking. So
She's a martial, like she's a master of martial prowess. It would be stupid to start a war with one of the groups that is trying to defeat your greatest enemy at this time.
Exactly.
That would be the biggest mistake tactically.
And based on what she said at the end too, you can also presume that a percentage of why she did it was to spite Orpheus.
Okay.
He's like that arrogant undead claiming I didn't help or whatever she said. Now he can't claim that anymore.
Steve probably got you a sword.
I mean, he helped. It doesn't mean Steve got him a sword.
Yeah, are you gonna
Just
say
got you
next
a
is like,
sword.
hey, you're welcome, Thunder. I got you a sword. That's what Easter's gonna say next. By creating Eden and killing Spiritus.
It's okay. I don't think he's doing that. He's just not going to do that. What he
that
will do
was
is plot
a joke.
behind your back and kill Amaterasu. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on.
joke,
Balance
I
can
do.
be achieved if there's only one light god.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Apparently, there's a lot of things going against Eden. And to be honest, you would also first of all, you would know that Eden is not identifying himself as Eden, first of all, which
Yes.
is
Yeah.
weird as fuck for an Eidolon and a Primordial.
Yeah.
But you could also, Thunder, surmise that the reason she's calling him flawed and that he's eventually going to deteriorate is probably due to that. Those two things are probably related. The fact that he still thinks of himself as Ramza and yet he's a fucking Primordial, obviously there's
Yeah.
something wrong with that. So
Yeah, frankly, for an Eidolon, that's ridiculous. Not even just for a Primordial.
Because
yeah,
the
for sure,
Primordials
yeah.
still like understand each other's names because they've known each other in a relationship, but
Yeah.
they identify themselves as something else.
The rule of thumb, I've spoken about it in chat, but I don't mind saying it here. The rule of thumb is more power, more crazy when it comes to an Eidolon. There are some that have wills that can kind of, adapt. There are some that their concept allows for them to be calmer. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But
the nature.
Yeah, but there is that rule applies to everything. More power, more crazy. That means that the only difference between a mythic Eidolon and a primordial is the primordial was created in a way that kind of stems that more power, more crazy thing. Primordials can encompass the entirety of one thing, like life or death, and remain sane. They still identify as the primordial, but they remember their old life because they are sane and sentient and calm. And that's the difference between a primordial and a mythic idol. And it's not even power, it's sanity and sentience. And that usually equates to more power because it means you can summon the power at will as opposed to having to hulk out to get it, Yeah. So yeah, that's the issue in this case is that he doesn't seem to have that clarity of a primordial, and then on top of it, there's no balance. So he has two things going against him right now. There's no balance to the fact that he is an Eidolon of hope, a primordial of hope and light, because you made him with the light crystal. So there's almost no escaping that he's the primordial of light, and that's why he cannot exist in the same plane as the crystal. But he has no counterpart. So he has that going against him, and also whatever this flaw that Amaterasu is convinced will eventually take him.
It's okay.
So-
I'll just
Does it
become
have to
the freaking primordial of despair. It's okay. I got you guys.
Despair Anima would be a good good candidate for that.
I had an idea for anima as a counter to life, and then it scared me when I thought about it.
Another one,
Decay.
since now Easter's not going. Wait, what'd you say, Rick?
Decay.
Oh God.
You know who I
Such a
thought?
That was
broad
what I
and
was like,
scary
you know what?
term.
That's
Oh
not an
my
idea.
God.
You know who I thought was Kuchulain for pestilence.
Actually,
Yes.
yeah.
There
That's
you
not
go.
bad. Decay on Kuchulain. That's insane. Isn't Kuchulain dead? No, he's not. He survived because he
he's
wasn't
not.
there.
He's one
You're
of
right.
the only
Yeah.
ones.
He's
'cause
one of the only ones that survived.
He was with Benjamin.
What I was going to say before Rick just kind of scared me with that concept is since Easter has no reason to meet Odin, I'll tell you guys, Odin represents fear.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
That's his concept. That's what makes him so powerful. And it's also what protects him against Zodiark.
Because
Odin is
people
an
are scared.
Eidolon.
People are scared of Zodiark, so Odin is feeding off of it, essentially.
Exactly. So he is an Eidolon of darkness, which means he should have been hearing the whispers a long time ago, and he should have been corrupted a long time ago. Odin, to be honest, should have been one of the people fighting you guys on Zodiark's side.
But
Instead, because in my campaign, and that's what makes him as powerful as Anima or as Eden was, is fear is a very wide-reaching and primal emotion.
yeah,
And as soon as Zodiark appeared in the skies, Odin got an injection of power. And now with all the armies of Zodiark trying to kill people in cities and like all the problems that are brought about by war, like Odin is extremely powerful right now. So none of Zodiark's radiation can even penetrate like his faith because of how powerful he is. And that's why he's kind of free. Easter was going to speak to him to potentially get him as your Eidolon, but I like this other road you've taken. It's pretty cool. So, but that would be.
I didn't know. Sorry,
and-
you didn't let me know.
Well, no, it's fine. I like what you did. It's not bad. I
think
wasn't.
this is a great
Yeah,
result.
this was a great story
Yeah.
result. He was trying to help you because he felt bad, you know. So
Yeah.
as he should.
Oh my god.
He
Anyway,
is
he
kicking
was
me while I'm down, Dave. How the fuck?
We're all
he was
down.
kind of like working with me to try to help you, but then of course, you know, you did it yourself, which is completely fine. That said, we were talking about Eidolons that could counter hope. I mean fear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Fear and hope,
fear
yeah,
and
are
suffering
exact-
are both good options.
Yeah, so Anima
Fear and
and
hope are
Odin,
opposite.
if you're looking for like a counter to hope, you could try to turn them into primordials if you don't want to kill Eden eventually. But then you'd still have to find whatever flaw Amaterasu seems to be inferring. Tsukiyomi would probably be a good person to talk to for anyone who's curious about any of this. So
A good
she has
question.
very noticeably been absent from speaking with all of you since Spirit has died. So obviously she is hurt.
Hurt,
That
but isolating
said-
alone.
Tsukiyomi would not blaze in agony and like threaten to kill you guys like Amaterasu keeps doing. Tsukiyomi
Yeah.
would suffer in silence and
I have a feeling
mourn.
she's probably also putting a lot of her efforts to make sure Wisp doesn't go crazy.
Yes, and she's mothering Wisp. Yeah, exactly.
To be honest, I was when I was coming up with this idea in my head, I was originally going to just talk to Tsukiyomi because I knew it was the safer route of who to talk to.
You guys almost
And-
died.
Yes,
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
As
That's
soon
why
as you
I
said pity or like
Sympathy.
sympathy,
Yep.
as soon as you said sympathy, I rolled.
I know.
I rolled to make sure that she didn't just straight up drop the barrier.
Yep. That's why I like at the very beginning I apologized to Trevas before we left Cornelia because I had an idea of how this plan was going to go in my head and I was like, well, let's just roll the dice. In worst case scenario, we die.
And we just get ready for Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, we
Trevas
just
is
get
over
rid-
here like, brother, what do you mean you know?
Steve says, if only we still had Seymour to help with Anima. That's not even.
If only who?
We had Seymour to help
Seymour
with
to
Anima.
help.
With Anima.
with Anima.
Yeah, Seymour would have been a great. But I mean, Anima can still be spoken to. But yes, Seymour would have been a great introduction to Anima. You guys can speak to both if you wanna. If you wanna create a balance, that's fine. But keep in mind, and I'm fine with this. Okay, but you're creating more primordials, so you know what I mean. Like, just make sure that the primordials you're creating can police themselves or something. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna write that like there was the war of the primordials. So like there needs to be some order amongst this and not just you guys raising a bunch of primordials to kind of, oh shit, we need a balance for this one, oh shit, we need a balance for this one. Like,
fuck it, we'll just create a
Let's
whole
pull
bunch,
Erebos.
see what happens.
Let's pull Erebos from the future again and show him after we've made 15 new primordials and see this is what your project has done. Is we're just recklessly trying to fix balances constantly. So how about you just come up with a new idea and change the past?
you know what we should do? A
Find a way
fucking
to
like
bring Spiritus back, and
Deadpool.
then he's like, what the fuck?
We should do a Deadpool style like interviews
Oh
for
my god.
Eidolon showing up and it's like, so what can you do?
Imagine like the campaign ends and it's just a bad dream of Erebos. He just wakes up. He's like, oh shit, we shouldn't do that idea.
Wouldn't that be amazing? I'd feel so bad because that would just completely fucking like wipe away 7 years of your lives.
We're doing that. We're
Jeez, I'd
doing.
have you guys holding pickets signs outside my house going, not my campaign.
He wakes up, turns around and says, Xehanort, come back!
Oh
We're doing the Eidolon interviews, and then all of a sudden, like Kane walks in and sits down, and we're like, "What? What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I just saw the ad and thought, you know, why not?" I'm not Eidolon, and he's like, "You're fucking in."
Call up Rin. We need a primordial of luck.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yes. I have a
That
new
would be one of the
vision.
most like antithetical things to make because controlling luck is weird.
That's the point.
You know what's the best part about it? It would balance itself.
It would totally.
My
love it.
god. If you're going to make a primordial to counterbalance Eden, make sure it counterbalances Wisp too. Or if you can't, at least speak to Tsukiyomi and see if she has a solution for Wisp.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna talk about, but I think Blair wants to do some talking as well, so I didn't want to do everything.
That's a good
tonight.
idea. Blair has a good
Yeah.
good rapport with Tsukiyomi. It's a good person for her to talk to. Amaterasu seemed to imply that the primordials would take care of Wisp, but Amaterasu is also very proud.
Yeah.
She would dismiss your aid in, like, helping her. Think of Amaterasu
I
as
don't
Vegeta.
We
A
were-
little
we
bit, you know
were
what I
all-
mean? Like,
I was already pushing the envelope with what I was asking for. I'm not gonna be, oh, by the way, we'll solve your little wisp problem too.
it's
How about we
Gotcha.
reestablish some rapport and like start
Little
like
Wisp problem.
yeah. How about we reestablish our rapport with them that we easily shattered to a billion pieces, and then we come and help at their leisure, not us rushing in pretending we can fix it.
is this the sword where you're permanently affected by burn?
What?
Oh boy.
What?
That sounds fun.
Oh boy.
May or may not be. I don't remember.
I want the party to note that I still have legendary armor. Okay? I'm sorry. It's just hasn't worked out.
The Solstice
dude
Fang is
Has,
mythical.
It's
Oh,
okay, so
well,
do I.
technically speaking, this dude has a 1 ascendant and 2 mythic great swords at this point.
Yeah,
He's just
you know
collecting swords.
I changed my mind. I'm going to wield the Spirit Blade and the Solstice
Oh
Fang.
my
dual
god,
wield it.
dual wield.
No. Fucking
Or-
Zoro this shit.
And the Carabernus is gonna be on his back. He's not
No,
giving
no,
that
no, no.
either.
He's putting the
I'll
one
get you-
sword.
It's gonna be my teeth.
I'll get you a group of dwarves, okay, to owe me a favor. And you just weld all 3 of those bitches together into a shuriken.
I got a better
You got
idea.
one shot.
We take a page straight out of oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. Legend of Zelda, the new one. Why can't I think of it?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, we take a page out of Tears of the Kingdom and we just attach them one on the other from blade to hilt, led to the very end.
A fucking really
Oh my
long,
god.
long sword.
Is that what they did
So
in that
good.
game?
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
If you fuse 2 swords together, it literally just takes the hilt of the other sword and attaches it to the end of the blade, and that's it. It looks goofy as fuck.
fucking sword collector
Well,
over here.
You said the right thing and got yourself some upgrades, so
Stressful.
Would
I'll probably sink you to about level 10 on Amaterasu.
Sweet. Thank you.
You do realize Amaterasu is the patron saint of devastators, right? And assailants.
Yeah, but I figured more likely to have a strength stat than
Oh,
others.
no, she has a strength set. It's strength
Yeah.
and dexterity. But it's the passives you're gonna get are
Not bolster. I understand.
anyway, you'll see.
You know, we
fine.
could just upgrade.
Maybe I should have got her too.
I'm not. I wouldn't worry about it. Worst case scenario, I turn into like this weird damage hybrid like Steve. It's just like worst case scenario. That's how I see
Can you
this
wait?
going.
Can you scale from external damage though? Sometimes tanks have passives that stop that. Wait, let me double check.
I might actually.
I don't really see it.
I don't think he does, because Judge has always been kind of a
Heavy hitter.
No,
Yeah.
They have great swords.
I have auto hit.
Usually in those. Upgrade something.
Yeah, but
upgrade damage.
the auto hit passive is actually my execute passive.
Immutable resolve.
Yeah. Oh no, Justicar's Grace.
Why not just Justicar's Grace? 5 out of 5, really.
Mm-hmm.
So does this mean I'm the king now?
Actually, it's only the first level, just gives me auto hit, and then the next 4 levels just make me more effective at insta-killing things. So lesser enemies
I don't
just...
see anything. Go through it, see if you can find something. If you don't find anything, then you're good. Easter has a point. Judges have been kind of like free in that regard. That said, there's nothing in here that makes you good at damage, so the only thing you'll be able to deal damage with is weapon attacks. And I'm sure your weapon attacks will hit like a fucking freight train after this, but like, I mean, that's pretty cool.
I was gonna say when I had
strength and weapon
when I
damage.
when I had Spiritus, I was transitioning to build into haste anyways to gain the siphon and consume procs to go like a blood decay. But now we're just gonna be straight damage, so I'm still gonna build into haste like I wanted to. But
Okay.
Yeah,
As long as you're okay with it, then you're okay with it, and I'm okay with it.
I think this was the best path, to be honest. Easter's idea of grabbing Odin was a good idea, and if he had told me the whole thing of it, other than
Odin
just
he's not tank oriented. He is a duelist though.
yeah,
So it would have been more in line with you, but
Yeah,
not
but
by
it's fine.
much. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
fine.
not enough to like worry about it. So
to be honest, beggars can't be choosers at the moment. I need to fill a gap, and I don't have a lot of time to do it, so I'm just going to take what I get.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
think you
fine, too.
got a pretty good result.
Yes, I'm happy with it. No part of me is upset at the decision I made. I wasn't like, or could it be tank oriented, please? No, like I just needed help.
Easter, is that
and I'm
you?
willing to get it.
What?
What? I didn't say anything.
Huh?
It was subtle but good.
Subtle shade, the best
Okay.
kind of shade.
I need to do the whole.
What was the counterbalance for Surf?
I'm
For
That's
what?
a good question.
For what?
Serpentarius.
Serpentarius.
Oh.
Was it
What is the
Abaddon?
counterbalance to potential?
no.
I mean,
It wouldn't
yeah,
be.
so
it wouldn't be evolution.
Let's think about it. Visp and Spiritus, Skyomi and Amarat. Tasu? Rasu?
Yes.
So
Is-
that leaves Abaddon and
And I've already confirmed that Abaddon is self-sustaining because his concept is evolution, which means that it sustains itself, right?
But Cosmos
if he
and
starts to
Potential-
lose it, he evolves and he doesn't lose it.
it
maybe
might be that he's also self-sufficient.
I wonder if Ophiuchus was created to balance Zodiac.
Yes,
that would make sense.
And then he was locked away.
And then he
Yep.
And the final pieces are
failed?
falling.
And then he failed at it, or he just got locked away.
He got locked away forever.
Oh.
And then as soon as he was free, who took him instantly?
Yep. Zodiac, because yep.
Because
greatest weakness.
without him, Zodiac could just grow.
Interesting.
You guys figured out the counter! Fuck yeah, I'm happy!
I wouldn't think that potential would be Cosmos, though.
It's not Cosmos.
It's not Cosmos. It's
Nothingness.
entropy.
It's entropy, silence,
Oh,
nothing.
It's
So,
silent. It's void.
We are going to the
Yeah,
crusade.
void. Exactly. It
Well-
just so happens to be the cosmos, yes, but it's also nothing. And
No.
what is, in
No, that
my
makes
opinion,
Potential.
the opposite of silence and nothing and no potential is obviously potential.
Potential.
Yeah.
It's
Well, even if you just consider, like, if you want to go in like a physical form, like of what's the opposite of no matter is matter.
Yeah,
matter
exactly.
is matter is potential by nature. It is anything.
I think I brought that up when we were
So-
talking about the primordial level.
But
Speaking of,
the fact that you guys made that connection, someone write it in chat. so everyone can see it, because that is so important. It is so important.
I will
Like,
write it.
because the fact that you guys started, I was just about to hint at it, and then DePaula just said, I think it was DePaula, right? DePaula just said it.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a reason, and he was trapped and locked away, and then as soon as he could have counterbalanced Zodiark, he was taken and he was suppressed and squashed and muted and corrupted. And now there's, well, you guys don't know how much of him there's left, but I guarantee you that in his current state, he's not opposing Zodiark.
No,
So,
he has a leash on him.
and now Zodiark is free to grow and grow and grow. That's why he's become so out of control. It's because he has no counterbalance, just like you guys said earlier. And then I was hoping that you guys would kind of reach that conclusion. And
Can
I'm happy that
somebody
you did.
Tell me the spelling of Ophiuchus, please.
I got it.
Yeah, good luck. I can't
So
help
does
you with that one.
does the balance
Don't look at
have
me.
to be direct? So
Here.
we'll
You can't type the rest of it. It is.
So it was if with how much praise we give Lunarians, right, for being smart, for having the Radiant Academy, for researching and preparing every little thing, they would have, right, created the counter to the cosmos before the cosmos was created.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they did. And now you have to ask yourself, then why didn't it work? You know? And then that's another
Potential
thread on its own.
Potential is erratic. It's by its very nature, it's unlimited positive and
Potential-
also very negative. It's how you use it. It's not.
Potential takes time to grow. Build slowly. Maybe they did it too quickly. Maybe what's his name ascended before he was supposed to, due to the personal situations that were happening.
I see potential more as I see potential more honestly as a driving force. Like, it's more dictated by will than it is dictated by time. My argument would be, because we know that Ophiuchus was one of the two orphans, and he was given this great and important duty with all these convocation members. I think he might have, had a little bit of a mental lapse. Maybe didn't believe in himself as much as he should, and the balance was skewed because of his own imagery of himself. And I think that caters to itself just because of the interactions we've had with him. He's not a very
So he didn't have the confidence required to
He's
grow
timid.
quickly.
he's just timid. He has a timid personality. He's not.
He was chosen because he had a personality that would allow him not to lose himself to the power. So you're absolutely right. He's timid. Every time you've spoken to him, he's been soft. He's been
Yep.
calm.
Yeah,
He's
he
been
doesn't.
even someone who's been suffering for so long in darkness and has unlimited power at his disposal. Have you guys ever gotten the idea from him that he could annihilate you or would annihilate you instantly? You guys were so kind of put off by how gentle he was when you first
Right.
spoke to him.
Yeah,
We were
And-
wary of it, if anything.
And
Everyone was expecting a big bad guy, and he was chill
Yeah.
as fuck.
yeah.
and someone like that would hesitate, like you said. Would
think,
be anxious, would
Andy has the
doubt.
gift that's in
I-
line with it too.
I
And-
genuinely just think he didn't. They were right in choosing a timid personality, so potential doesn't go off the rails. But at the same time, you can't expect potential to grow rapidly like you need to keep Void in check with someone who's just as cautious to use it as he is to lose it.
And Erebos, you guys know from meeting him, wasn't arrogant, but he was intelligent and he was confident,
Yes.
which kind of translated over to Zodiark. There is still the question of why there seems to be two consciousness of Zodiac, conscies of Zodiac, the Wraith and the actual Eidolon, or Primordial. But
Well,
anyway, I'm happy you guys made the connection.
So when we know from making Primordial, like making one, that imagery is really important because imagery dictates function, basically. Of the so does that mean that during the ritual that half saw him differently than the other half? And created a split?
That's what Easter was saying. One of the things I was
Oh,
just
perfect.
thinking now is like we are seeing it with Eden, right? How he is thinking himself as what he was before. I was thinking maybe this split personality of Zodiac is similar because he grew so rapidly with nothing to stop it.
That was my last theory, like my most recent theory. When I was thinking about the Wraith, is that when when Zavara made Primordial Eden, he made an upside down current Zodiac, where the Eidolon is tethered to this person instead of the other way around.
Love that name.
Yes. Rising Sun.
So we'll have to figure out the implications of that, and that could be why Tsukiyomi immediately spotted him as flawed too, is because aside from the fact that obviously did not use Lunarian magic to make him, but if he looked similar to Zodiac in that way. Anyways, I have 9 hours of standby, and at this point it looks like they're all going to go to research to find out exactly what the fuck I did. So
So just be careful with one thing, I would say. Is like if you do figure out what, like in character, this PTSD thing goes away, Zell and Trevas will know right away because they both have perjury, and you won't be able to hide it from them. That
It's
Yeah,
so true.
I was thinking actually, maybe working out something with Steph for this, but I thought it might be entertaining is the wrong word. But when you said that people could sense me lying, I was like, I wonder if I can roll deception against myself.
as in like
You're not the
where-
first PC to offer that.
Amadeus.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's like I wonder if I can like, and then the like more stressful the situation is, like the lower
you
know what I mean?
realize that you'll fail, right?
What was that?
You realize that you'll fail, right? Deception is charisma based, insight is wisdom based.
Yeah, you have to be
Oh.
high.
You're
charisma
going
job
to
do
roll
that.
deception against yourself. Deception is plus 24, and your insight is 42.
So
So, to be honest,
normally,
I'd argue that Zavara is incapable of lying to himself because of how wise he is. That's a hell of a compliment for a DM to give his player, and also very inconvenient for you.
New plan.
I mean, if you think about it logically, Easter, I'm not gonna we could still figure something out. I don't know how you're gonna convince me, but if you look at it from my perspective right now, right, your insight check cannot beat your deception check, or sorry, other way around. Your deception check cannot beat your insight check on its best day. So It's a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway.
You have to nat 1 or nat 20.
And because I know you oh so well, or at least parts of you oh so well, you sure as shit put double proficiency in insight. So it's not looking good as far as that. I didn't think of it that way because I figured
It was.
the trauma
unconscious
could kind of
thing.
explain itself as an auto success. But if we think about it pure stat wise, I guess it depends on the DM. It's a DM call. Because if we're looking at it like from Matt Colville's perspective, if he looked at this and saw those numbers, he'd probably say, "Nah, it's not happening because you are too wise." Like you would, if it was intelligence, we could argue it. Because intelligence, you could logic your way, right? You could be like, "I don't know what happened. I must have autopiloted." You could convince yourself through logic that, something and just kind of lie to yourself. But you're wise, you're not intelligent, which means that because you're wise, you have the wisdom to see through the lies you're telling yourself and to see the truth. And that's difficult to kind of explain away. So I don't know. But anyway,
I
we'll
think
talk
it's
about it after another.
You can have a therapist whose own life is fucked up, right? I think it's something like that where, like, if I were going to try to explain the concept, it would be like let's see.
You can. So the reason I didn't want to put you on the spot is I'll let you think about it. You don't need to give me an answer now.
Mhm.
So don't worry about it. And I'm not putting you on the spot. If you think of something, send it to me. If not, then we'll figure something out. Either way, yeah, it is a bit of an issue, but not enough for me to immediately demand, an explanation. So it's fine.
How's my wisdom saving throw versus deception?
Yeah, you could argue that it has to be a wisdom saving throw. It doesn't improve your situation.
Oh yeah, no, it's huge.
Yeah, your wisdom saving throw is 37.
And I feel like as soon as you go into any kind of deception realm, like maybe we won't know that you're lying about that, but it will ping us, I feel like.
No, it won't. If he believes it, it won't ping. No.
Okay.
Because he's not lying to you. If he believes it, it's not a lie. Now you'd think that's an easy way to get around. It's not an easy thing to get around perjury. Most people can't get around perjury. But if you went through enough trauma, for example, if you have amnesia, right?
Yeah.
And a judge asks you if you murdered this man, you did murder the man, but you don't remember doing it, then it won't ping perjury. Because the man...
It wouldn't make sense
It
to.
has to be intentional.
Yeah.
Perjury
is not omniscient.
Right.
It's more, you sense the deception in someone. If he's not deceiving, then you don't sense it. So, but as soon as he starts to get an inkling, you'd immediately sense it. So, yeah.
I just thought of a solution for the
Hit him in the head
wisp
really hard?
situation.
Oh.
Which one is the worst situation?
That's not a solution for everything.
It's a me solution.
I'll sticks that.
What's your solution?
Just upgrade Ragnarok from destruction to annihilation, as in atomic annihilation. And then that solves your life problem, as well as other things.
Your life problem and hope, I guess it could work as a
I think it's weak link to hope though. I don't think it's
There's
quite
nothing
close
to
enough.
hope for.
annihilation.
Some
does
people
kind of,
hope. Some people hope for annihilation. That's what nihility is.
But you can't. People could hope for anything. That doesn't matter. What we're trying to encompass here is a hope, as in a light, as in positive hope.
The true path.
So yeah, exactly. So
I mean,
if you create an eidolon of annihilation, technically annihilation would smother hope, and it would also destroy life. So it makes sense. You could make, but the problem is, and I brought this up before, if you make a primordial of annihilation, make sure it's on your side.
Yeah. Make sure it's balanced. There ain't no...
Because if you make a primordial of annihilation, and
It goes.
I mean,
to
that ends up just being
Zodiac
another in-campaign boss at that point, which is
Yeah.
I'd love
I
to
feel
design
like-
that fight. By the way, But,
I
like,
feel like I'm Samuel L. Jackson in these conversations.
Yeah.
I am sick of all these goddamn annihilation plans in this motherfucking royal party.
I fucking love it so much, though. It's
I
so
think-
true.
We have this. So this also brings me back to something I was going to mention and I forgot about. I don't know if anyone's done this yet, and I just missed it. But has anyone actually asked the Primordials what training they went into to become Primordials?
No,
No,
one's asked
because
them that.
it's been 2 sessions since we made one, and this is the first time they weren't yelling at us. So no, we haven't
I
gotten
just meant,
that
like,
far.
She was yelling
we've-
with her eyes.
We've
Yeah.
talked to them ages ago about how they were formed when we discovered trees and all this kind of stuff, but I wasn't
And they
sure
were
if
kinda
in that
hush-hush about it.
conversation.
No,
Yeah,
we've
because
been
you would
peeling the
imagine.
layers.
It wasn't. They're not hush hush. You guys never brought them up. Like they've been happy
Yeah.
to answer questions. Fuck. What's his name? Spirit just brought back someone from the past to help you. Like,
You would
That was
imagine
nat
though,
20.
like
let's not
ah, it's so true.
pretend, let's not
You're
pretend that
traumatized
was
by
like
that. You're traumatized by that.
well, the whole party was one of the most scariest non-combat things that have ever happened to this party, because it's like, we have Erebus here. What the fuck do we do?
It's just
Like,
talking
what
about
are we
like the
gonna-
feeling of FOMO, right? That you must have had. Like, we need to ask him like the right shit, right? Like,
Yeah, I had my greatest fear was we have a killer nat 20. We can ask the very man himself of like anything we want. What the fuck do we ask him? Like we're wasting this if we don't find something. You were probably rolling in your chair being like, these idiots, they don't know what they're
no, I
doing.
did not. I don't do that. Except if I put a door in front of you that's unlocked and you guys take an hour to open it, then I might do that. I've had some very simple puzzles where I was like, really? But like the more complicated ones, I was always like, it's okay, it's fine. I made this complicated on purpose. But some of the easy ones, I was like, you just match the elements, guys.
To be honest,
But
we-
anyway,
we've
that
had-
hasn't happened in a long time. So
Look, colors are hard. Crayons
I-
are tasty.
I feel like it hasn't happened in a long time because you've been like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Not
No,
because we've
I'm-
been smart enough to
you
get
guys
past
haven't
puzzles
really
in.
done dungeons in a while. We've been in the
No,
end game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The I wanted to tell you, Rick, you're missing out though. Instead of annihilation, I'd recommend devastation.
Oh, such devastation was our intention.
God.
That way
great.
you can like drop the hardest line in the game.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go to bed
Instead
before
of,
that gets any worse.
Have a good night.
Fucking
Have a
eval
good night.
tomorrow. You
Good
guys have a good night.
I just bring up the whole like training thing because I feel like if we keep thinking the solution is make another primordial, first of all, we fucking battled for our lives to do it the first time and a bunch of bad shit happened. I don't even know if making another one's on the table really. But I mean, I guess technically it is if you have a good enough cost, but yikes.
Zell also
um,
kind of swore that we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
I
plan
don't
on
think
I'm gonna let Easter do his idea of how to try to balance Eden, but I kind of agree with Emeratsu that it's not like, I think this is more luck and conditions lining up than anything else. Not really a plan.
I
And
feel
then you just need to prep for it, and
Yeah.
also if you use another crystal, you're gonna have the same problem.
Yes.
Use a crystal for it. You're going to create an eidolon of fire and destruction, devastation, whatever you want to call it. And
lose the
then the
crystal.
fire crystal won't be able to exist. And then the fire element will be corruptible. By the
I
way,
was-
holy is corruptible. I've said it
Yeah.
like 3 times.
Yeah, it is.
I'm done saying it. When when you guys go into the final session and you're facing angels and shit, corrupted fucking void angels.
Yeah.
Like,
That's why I just want to fucking get the crystal back. Fuck Eden.
I didn't
I mean,
I didn't propose
he's
this
got the
idea
Eden
before.
killing sword in his scabbard right now.
Good.
So, I mean,
Yeah, no worries. We're good.
Literally eating killing sword. I honestly
literally.
I was thinking this the other time when we were talking about primordial concepts, but wouldn't it have been cool, alternate timeline, to have ascended the 6
Yes.
with
That
the
would have been a cool
crystals?
timeline, yeah.
Right?
The 6.
Eidolons.
Oh, you mean like the
Ifrit,
base?
Shiva,
Oh, that'd be so
base.
Shiva,
fucking cool.
Ramu.
Oh no! That's an idea.
I mean,
Anyway,
right?
I mean,
the point is that
I
basically-
mean,
I mean,
Ifrit is with me.
that said, there are some members of the Six that you guys have never interacted with. It would be pretty devastatingly bad idea to do it at this point. But yes, in an alternate timeline, it's a badass idea for sure. Yeah, I love it.
In that alternate timeline, we never blew up the crystal chamber.